As we all know, there is a pandemic of COVID-19 that is happening in the country. And to deal with the challenges of this pandemic, there were many different things that were required. One of them was the ability to figure out who has the disease definitively and to take action so that we could deal with the situation safely. So I was attracted to the problem at two levels. First of all, of course, in my role as a scientist at NCBS, and science is at the center of the response to COVID. Therefore, that was important for me to contribute to the effort. And secondly, since I'm a trained clinician as well, I did not find it hard to appreciate the importance of contributing to the testing effort and also bringing my skills as a clinician to bear as required in the COVID testing laboratory.
So because we do wear the PPE and then we have 2 pairs of gloves and shoe with shoe cover and N95 mask, so it's a lot of things that we wear. And once we are in, we cannot eat or drink, or so we are in there for at least, like Ansel said, 4 to 5 hours continuously in the PPE. So it's a little bit exhausting.
We are not allowed to remove it once we are inside. So we have to work with once we wear everything, we have to finish the task and then only we are allowed to come out.
This also means that all movements that you make inside are carefully calibrated and planned.
So, what the documentation team does is we're almost involved from the very beginning to the end, which distinguishes us from the other teams in the COVID Center, which have defined scientific responsibilities. But as Suraj was saying, is that we basically are responsible for the receipt of the sample, and we can do the process, we can trace the sample as soon as it's arrived throughout the whole process of where it is in the facility or what step, and where even the samples are stored afterwards if we have to go back and do retesting. And so that's why I was talking about the 16 hours is that we're involved all from the very beginning all the way to the end of the entire process. So if we need to go back at any particular step of the process, we can tell people where to go and find the sample kind of stuff. And in addition, we do this in a way that maintains the confidentiality of the patient samples, right, because it's a personal information. So we have a database where we can just identify a sample based on an ID number that we give that is generally just the Bangalore Life Science Cluster ID number. So we have no patient information, we just identify that particular tube on that number. And then if we need to go find the information, we have all this on the database that we can match that ID with patient information and then report the result at the end.
I think for me, the biggest lesson learned in organization, because at days we plan our entire week days in advance. So I think a biggest learning for me has been pre-planning, and so that planning to the utmost detail, so that any uncertainty you have the leeway to take it and still make it smoothless and give the results on time. I think the lesson for me has been in management, organization, coordination, and all of that, more than the science.
What is the amazing part is this: when we send our call to the institute asking people to join, literally every student and postdoc has volunteered. That's the commitment I really appreciate that came from the postdocs and the student community of this campus, and that's very, very amazing. And as an institute or as a PI, I'm really proud of the student and postdoc community that has really stood up and said, we are there and we will help you with this process, right? So that's what this effort is about. Yeah.
The testing activity started as a voluntary effort of staff and students of the campus. Currently, we have dedicated team. We test nearly 600 to 800 samples per day. Apart from testing, our team also involved in maintaining SARS-CoV-2 biorepository, help in diagnostic kit validation, and also SARS-CoV-2 genome sequencing. I am happy and proud to be part of COVID testing team at BLiSC. Thank you.